I didn't know how I was going to get here, but I wasn't ever worried that I wasn't going to make it. I've done so much with WWE, and I've been here for already 12 years. The goal was to leave it in a better place than you found it.
You're in chapter 4 of your career. Where are we at now?
Maybe this is chapter 5. Damage control to me is its own chapter. That was super special to me.
How did I'm a Hugger become your gimmick?
The fans made that happen. It was my match with AJ. Just me hugging her got a crazy reaction. The next match, they just started chanting like,
Wrestling's been a part of your life. Did you feel like it wasn't going to come back after your injury?
this will be a story for another day. My injury ended up being more than what everybody knows. That's the reason why it kept me out longer.
Are you still a Grand Slam champion?
No, because there's new titles. It's so annoying.
We're in it.
We're kind of matching.
Yeah, we are kind of
matching. Yeah.
I've got like this is like the black Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah.
Denim on denim.
Yeah.
you got all, is the dice because we're in Vegas?
Yeah.
Look at them all.
Look at this. Look at all this. There's a whole bodysuit to it. And I think I'm going to try to do it for like Hall of Fame. We'll see.
Like a
There's like a
bodysuit
whole
made of dye?
bodysuit like jewelry.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that girly, so we'll see if I can figure it out. But I just want to sprinkle a little fun in there since I was just plain colors, you know.
You should roll up to a craps table and be like, I already got one. Here it is.
Yeah, 4, whatever. I don't know how to play.
I think there's 4 might be a good roll.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that because I watch Friends, and that was like their number.
Do you have any?
Anyways.
Do you have a Vegas game you would play if we went down to the casino?
Ding, 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 ding. Just the slots.
that's
Just
it?
the slots. That's
Make
all
it
I can
real
do.
easy?
You know, I feel like I learned how to play blackjack.
Okay.
I learned how to play when I first started coming. Like I used to do shows in Reno, and so I was like a little bit younger, so I would just watch all the guys play and stuff. I feel like I learned a little bit there, but and then my first time in Vegas, which was when my sister got married, and then that was it. But I never like followed up.
So like if we went down there, maybe it's just like
It's just some slots.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
just my luck, you know.
maybe
I'm just
win
gonna,
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you a morning person?
No.
Because this is rather early.
This is so early. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not a morning person at all, and I'm so happy that I woke up on time today because the shades in the hotel close on their own. There's buttons to do it, and I like to leave. There's like the drapes, it says, and then there's the shears.
Yeah.
So like I like to leave the drapes open and then the shears so I could see the sun come in, and that helps me wake up. But the drapes closed on their own, and so I woke up probably like 20 minutes later than I wanted to wake up. And I was like, why is it so dark in here? I'm running late. I had to text makeup like, I'm so sorry, I'm running late. And they're like, you're good, dude.
But you look great.
Thank you.
Excellent
Thank
hair.
you.
Look at this.
Fluffy. Purple. Does it look purple?
Yeah, it looks very purple.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted it a little bit brighter, but it's cool.
How are you? But you're mixing up the colors with the hair.
Since Mania last year, I did purple because Io and I both had red hair. And so like, I was like, well, we're not a team anymore. So I kind of need to, change it up. And then I wanted to do full purple like this, but it was so last minute. Like we were on Sunday, I think. And then I had appearances Saturday. And I was like, well, I can't just show off my hair at an appearance. It has to show off at Mania, So like my hair lady came to my Airbnb I had for my friends and stuff at like 4 a.m. and just fixed all my red hair and put purple in. She's like, I can't do the whole thing. Like we don't have time for that. It's like, okay. So now I finally got it.
Your hair has become so much a part of your gimmick. Like, right? Like if you go back to the start, like,
oh yeah, that's true.
Your hair was part of your gimmick.
Yeah.
Your hair not being like that was then also part of your gimmick.
That's true.
Your hair being short was like, ooh, why is her hair short? We're not supposed to like her?
Yeah. That's a good point. When I first did like the side ponytail, I did it because it was easy for me. Like I can do my hair. I could do my hair at any live event. I could do my hair at any TV. And all the girls, even now, had like extensions and all and colored hair. So I'm like, okay, how can I be different? I just won't color my hair. Like that's different. I'll just use my natural hair color. And then like no girls are going to do the side ponytail because it's dorky as hell. Like no one's going to wear their hair like this. So that was my initial thought. And then the fact that I can like do it myself because I couldn't curl my hair then, I didn't know anything about getting myself ready or like being presentable, especially for a large audience on TV. But yeah, that became like a really big thing. And I've said this before, but like my first match that I had the side ponytail, I took it out like before the match started because to me, WWE wouldn't like it, you know? So I'm like, oh, they're not going to like that I'm wearing a side pony, but I'll wear it for my entrance and then I'll take it out and, you know, let my hair flow. And then I remember coming back and Dusty was like, don't take your hair out. Leave the hair out. That's your thing. That's the ponytail is your thing. And I was like, really? Like, are they going to like that?
Yeah.
It's like, that's it. And I was like, okay. And I continue to wear it. And then like you start seeing little girls and their ponytails and all that stuff, you know? But yeah, like that's a good point. When I was turning, I had to do like a complete 180. All right, what am I going to do first? Chop my hair, you know, change the hairstyle. And then this kind of just came like, okay, well, no girls really shave their head or put designs in it. And just kind of started something as like social media, you know, where it was like a little Easter egg, like, oh, look what I shaved in the back of my head. It's Michael Cole's freaking name, you know, just funny stuff like that. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to grow it out now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, where are you and Michael Cole at now?
Oh God, I'm an idiot. He's always like, we'll be like putting stuff together, you know, before the show, and he'll be like, hey Bayley, and so I guess I got to cheer for you tonight because you're wrestling Liv, and I'm like, you don't have to cheer for me, Michael. Like, I don't care what you do. And, oh well, screw you then, and he just like flips me off from the chair, and I'm in the ring like trying to do my work. I'm like, you're like, he's just so funny, dude. He's like, for real, like a mentor to me, you know. He's somebody that I can go to, that he's been here for so long and he's always available. Like, you can't always get in Hunter's ear. Michael Hayes is always available. And he has a very different mindset, but like Cole is there watching everything, watching every girls match, watching all the guys matches. And he's been doing it and calling matches forever. So like getting his mindset on things is always super helpful. And he's just like always rooting for us, you know, and he has a different insight on stuff. So as much as like I give him crap on TV, you know, he's somebody that like even just up until just Monday, what's today, Thursday? Monday, I went on Pat's bus with him. I was like, as I was getting ready, I was texting him like, hey, where you at? I just have some notes for, I was wrestling Liv, and I just have some notes to give you. And he's like, hey, I'm on Pat's bus. Come on over. I'm like, okay. So went and sat with him and Pat and just like kind of gave him some notes. But like he also asked, so what's going on with this and what's going on with that? Like, how can we make this better? You know, because he kind of has an idea of the direction I want to go as a character. So he really is the best, and he really wants the best for everybody. But not everyone uses him as like an outlet, you know, but he's so knowledgeable and I've learned a lot from him. So,
well, if you think about it, he's seen everything. Like he has been there, right there, best seat in the house for
spilled on
everything.
myself.
Oh,
idiot.
No.
At least it wasn't on the white.
Good point. Would you like a napkin?
No, that's okay.
I think we can arrange that. What are you drinking?
It's right off. This is a black Americano.
That's it?
That's it.
Is it a Grande Americano?
It's an El Grande Americano, yes.
Is that your go-to coffee?
This is it's one of them.
Or is this just like this is hotel coffee?
Well, my first drink of the day, or not my first drink. My first drink is water. My first coffee of the day always has to just first I have some water, a little bit of vodka, Bloody Mary, some milk, and then coffee. No, I always have to have like a black coffee. And then when I was getting ready, they were like, can I get a coffee order? Like makeup was getting it. And I was like, oh, I need something strong because it's early. I'm not a morning person. 6:15 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
5. I woke up at 5.
5?
Because I wanted to eat. I wanted to make sure that
You ate that early?
And we're also
Did you work out too?
Not yet. We're staying at another hotel.
Oh.
So like we're not staying here. Also, it's like 15 minutes from where we parked the car at this hotel to like go up an escalator, walk across another thing, up an elevator.
Yeah, when I came here yesterday, I was like, they were telling me where the green room is, and I was like, okay, well, I just went in 7 different elevators, and there's no 4th floor. They're like, no, you have to go here, then you got to go there, then you got to. I was like, oh my god! And by the time I came in, I wear the Aura ring. I don't know if you.
Yeah, my wife wears it.
Okay, these are the best. And I have it like tracking my steps. So I literally went into my Aura ring app, and I'm like, how long was that walk? It was like 16-minute walk, you know? I'm like, it shouldn't take me that long to get here. But I'm so lazy. That's stupid. It is a very long
not
walk.
true.
This is a beautiful hotel, though.
This smells so nice.
It's so new. That's why. Yeah. Where you saw that cigarette smoke in Vegas hotels.
They piped in their scent.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's what the high-end hotels do.
Oh, I really like it. Except everything closes early. The pool closes at 5.
What?
And the gym closes at 7. Like, why?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Weird.
24 hours. Come on.
Yeah. What? It's Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
Things never close.
It's Vegas, baby.
I heard you say in another interview that you feel like you're in chapter 4 of your career. You still feel like you're there. So it was NXT, pandemic, injury, and then the return.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
Oh, man. So maybe now if this, I don't know how many chapters there's going to be. But maybe this is chapter 5 because chapter 4 to me was like damage control. And like I'm in a completely different space now where like I have an idea of like where I want to go. And I think that would continue my chapter 5 and where like, character wise and career wise and however much longer I'm going to be doing this. But like damage control to me is its own chapter, like that was super special to me. So, man, I wonder how many chapters there's going to be. Maybe 6, maybe 7.
Do you have a number in your mind of like
No.
how long you want to do this?
When I was younger, because women didn't wrestle as long as we're doing it now, like like Trish and Lita, if you think about it, they were, everyone's heroes. They were my heroes. And they only did it like 6-7 years, with WWE, and we're only on top for 3 years or something. So to me, that was like always in my head. And then, but now you look at like Natty, who's been here forever and still like, I just wrestled her on Friday and just incredible in the ring, just one of one. And everything that she brings to it, not just in the ring, but like her experience. And we really need that in locker rooms. So I always think that like, all right, even if I'm not wrestling every week, there's something that I have that can help the locker room, just like she does, just like Naomi does, just like Tamina does, But when I was younger, I always said like, all right, 35 would be my cutoff because in my opinion, like, guys can go forever, but like, it's not that cute when you're a woman and like, you're 35. But now that I'm 35, I'm just like, oh, we're all way past that. And we're still like main eventing. We're still, doing red carpets. We're still doing all this stuff. People still care about us. So that's kind of like something on my...
What have you eaten here?
I've eaten some hair. Yeah, they still care about us. So that's kind of like changed my mindset.
Also, when you're younger, like when you're 12, a 35-year-old feels like ancient.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. But I also like always dreamed of opening my own school. And so that's something I would love to do while I'm still active in WWE because I think that's going to get like the better traction and make people want to really come, like at least for the first start to get my school going.
Yeah. And there's
hard to say.
Few examples of that, right? Like Seth has his school while he's still doing it. Sean Spears, Tyler Breeze, like they've got flatbacks.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to train with the person who you can watch every Monday or Friday?
Exactly. Yeah. And that just seems like, oh, well, if they're already there, like, I'm just thinking how I would think, like, that's my foot in the door, know? Obviously it ain't that easy, but that's how I would think about it. Yeah. So that's like my end all. And I have like a whole, idea behind it. It's not just wrestling school. Like I have so many other things I want to, make it into. But yeah, I have a year and a half left on this current contract. So we'll see what happens then,
And then what?
And then what? Man, I don't know. Yeah. I think I've done, everything I really want to do. Not everything. There's still a lot I want to get done, but done so much with WWE. And I've been here for already 12 years, and there's like a huge wave of women coming in that I think are ready to take over and like ready to be in those spots. Like teaming with Lyra right now has been super eye-opening to like what the whole division has to offer. I've got to work with Roxanne, I got to work with Cora, but even like last night hanging out with Lyra, hearing like we went out to dinner and we hung out with Meechin for her birthday, but like being able to hang out with her outside of wrestling and hearing her mindset and why she does this and why she wants to make it better and what she wants to make better and how she wants to help even me, you know, like things that we're doing going into WrestleMania, how she wants to be better for me is like, just like makes me so happy that there's people like that and women like that that want to be better for the division, you know? So when I think about like, okay, I might be done in a couple of years or what, you know, who knows? I know that it's going to be in good hands. So that makes me really happy. Where like before it might have, like John Cena always says, you know, he couldn't leave because who was going to do what he does, you know? Who's going to take his place? Who's going to like be the one to freaking put asses in seats? Who's going to be the one that the kids want to see, that the kids idolize, like to the level that he does? And like, Cody's doing that, you know? So like, I feel like
it took Cody coming back.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm John Cena, of course, but I'm just saying
female
like
John Cena, right? Yeah. You've heard that.
Yeah. A long time ago. But I'm just saying like, that's kind of the,
oh my gosh. Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah. Are you guys okay over there? But like, that's kind of the same mindset, you know, as long as like it's in good hands, you always want to, like the goal was to just leave it in a better place than you found it, you know?
Big thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this episode and for always supporting the channel. I don't use the internet anywhere without NordVPN. I mean, you've got a lock on your door. You should protect yourself when you're online too. Public Wi-Fi is notorious for being a spot where hackers like to hang out to try to steal your data. NordVPN protects you on there, and I love how easy it is to use, whether that's on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. And you can change your virtual location with just one click and access content that's not available where you live. You can also use it to get pay-per-views for a fraction of the cost. So head to nordvpn.com/CVV to get yourself protected and to save yourself some money. Look at this deal they have going on right now. Less than $3 a month will get you covered, and you get 4 extra months for free. That's nordvpn.com/CVV. nordvpn.com/CVV.
The story with Lyra is so interesting because it's full circle, right? And she put this tweet out, a screenshot of this tweet from 2017. And I'm going to read it because it's so interesting. She says, "Imagine one day being able to make someone feel how I felt meeting Bayley. Now that would be amazing." And now you guys are wrestling together at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That's what you know, and that's kind of like the feeling I'm talking about, like, because I've heard that from, and I'm just like Indy Hartwell, Roxanne, Cora, her. Those are like the first 4 ones that really come to my mind. That I can't believe I'm like, if I were to start in NXT and Trish and Lita were still in WWE, like, of course I got to wrestle Trish and Lita at WrestleMania. But that was like them coming back to do that for us, you know? Mm-hmm. But like, if I were to start training and they were still active, that would blow my mind to be like, oh, they're coming to the PC and training with us, or they're coming to the PC to rehab, or I'm going to team with them at WrestleMania. And like, it's just like a normal thing, you know? Like that would blow my mind. So when the way that they respect us right now and talk about like again, hanging out with Lyra last night, talking about my match with Mercedes in Brooklyn, you know, things like that is like, man, just thinking of the impact that we really did have is really cool. And like, she's going to have that moment where she's going to be here one day talking about someone that started wrestling because of her.
Yeah.
You know, because she's the first ever women's intercontinental champion, because of her first ever WrestleMania, performance, like whatever we end up doing on Sunday, you know, like someone's going to want to start wrestling because of her. Someone from Ireland's going to want to start wrestling because of her. And it's cool to just kind of see how that like trickles down. Like that's what this is all about, you know?
Who was that for you?
I mean, there was a bunch of them. I was a huge, I loved everybody. Ivory was the first one, I would say, because she was the first female wrestler I met, and I was 12 years old, and she just like looked at me. I was wearing like a what is it called? It was like the Seven Dwarves, and it was a Sleepy. His name is Sleepy.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have this hoodie, but it was just like a blue hoodie with freaking Sleepy on it. And I don't know why I wasn't wearing a wrestling shirt or anything, but Ivory was the first women's wrestler I met, and she just was like shaking my hand and looking at me. She's like, I'm going to see you in the ring one day, aren't I? And I didn't say that I wanted to be a wrestler. Like, I already did at that point, but I didn't say anything. She was just looking at me. And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'll see you in the ring. Like that to me was like, well, I have to do it now because I can't let Ivory down. So like that stuck with me for so long. And then Lita was the one really to like, just because the way she dressed, the way she wrestled, like I thought, I dressed different than all the girls. I was such a tomboy, and like her baggy jeans, and she was just so cool hanging with the guys. And when all their like DVDs and stuff came out, I'm like, dude, she's like one of us, and she's like living the dream. So I would say Ivory and Lita really like changed my dream to make it seem really possible. There's something in that story and also in the Lyra story with that tweet of, it's like self-belief. It's the idea of like, you set a goal and you believe that you can make it happen. Yeah. And then you don't even look elsewhere. You're like, well, this thing's going to happen. It's just going to be a matter of time. Yeah. That's really like how I felt too. And I didn't know how to explain it. Like I didn't know how I was going to get here or, it's a little different nowadays, you see NXT or you see WWE ID, like you see different avenues and routes that you can take to get here. But like I never saw how to get here. And I didn't even know, like when I ended up training at my wrestling school, like I didn't know they had a school and I didn't know what I was going to do, but there was just something that I believed in, something I felt that was just pulling me like, okay, you're going to be there one day. So I wasn't ever like worried that I wasn't going to make it. I was just like, how will I get there? But I always knew I was. And it's just a weird feeling and not like a cocky thing or not like I have no business being here. I'm not athletic. I'm not a model. Like I don't have anything that like stands. I'm not a crazy bodybuilder. I just had that feeling, But it's real. But that's why you're here. Yeah. Yeah. My heart. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. And I try to like, I tell people that all the time, like, oh, what advice would you give to anyone, who has a dream or anyone who wants to be a wrestler? And it sounds like such like the lamest answer, but it's so true. Like you can do literally anything you want. Like I'm sure you've, what your dreams and look at what you've been doing for so many years, and people think that it's too out of reach. Like whatever they want. Because I think on social media, they just see the finished product. Yeah. And they don't see the stumbles along the way. They don't see all the times when it didn't work. Right. They just see you holding up the championship at WrestleMania. Yeah. Or they just see the person holding the Oscar or the Super Bowl winner or whatever it happens to be. They don't see all of the stuff that didn't work and all the times when you wanted to give up and you didn't. Yeah. And that's what's important. Yeah. And that's the stuff that you normally don't share unless you get the chance to. Like I thought I was gonna get fired like my first month because I wasn't girly enough because I didn't dress the part. And like I just told Lyra the story last night of AJ Lee was there with Dolph. Like they were working together at the time, but they were at a FCW show. And one of the guys, like one of my bosses, I guess, asked AJ to talk to me because I was like not dressed appropriately. As in, like, I didn't look presentable enough. I wasn't working the show. It was my first month. And he was just like, can you talk to her? Like, look at her type thing, like she needs help. And so she looked at me like cause she's the same, we're the same. And like, she's not the super girly girl. And she started the same way I did. And she looked at him like kind of annoyed at him and was like, I got it. And then grabbed my arm and talked to me for like an hour and basically, I've said this story before, so like long story short, but like basically told me you don't have to change yourself to get to where you want to be, but you do work for this company, so you need to meet them halfway. So I'm not saying like dress like a diva. I'm not saying dress like Tori Wilson. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like be you, but also like listen to their needs from you because you have a contract with them, you work for them. But like meet them halfway and don't lose yourself in the process. Like it was like the short version of that. And that, again, like changed everything for me. And that was when I started like figuring out the hugger stuff. Cause I was like, oh, I could still be myself. I could still be a dork. I could still be goofy. I could still be a mark. And like, and I could still like connect and wrestle and all that stuff. So like she changed that for me immediately. Yeah, like there were even on that day, because I can tell, like I would show up and the office would be like, "Ooh, what is she wearing?" Like sometimes I would dress like too over the top because I was trying to be too sexy, and it was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was wearing these crazy heels and a short dress, and my hair was all wild. My makeup was all over the place because I didn't know how to fit in, and they would give me weird looks. I'm like, damn it, I thought this is what you guys wanted,
Yeah.
And then I've even like been sent home from shows being like, you need to go change because that's too much. What the hell? I thought, I'm just trying to be one of the divas, so there's so many moments where I was just like, it's not going to work here. And I thought I was going to go to like TNA or something, but yeah, AJ, I would say changed my whole career at that point.
How did I'm a Hugger become your gimmick?
The fans made that happen. So like when I came up with the character, my character came from Superstar, Molly Shannon. Yeah, that's her name. Superstar, the movie.
Yeah.
That's like where I stemmed it from. I was like, okay, I can have all like the nervous antics like her, and then I could just be a super fan, and Dusty loved it. And when we started doing like promo class, everybody was like looking forward to like who I was gonna be a fan of that day or what I was gonna do, and I just had so much fun. And then when we finally did it on TV, I wrestled Alicia Fox. Oh, it wasn't even that match. It was actually my match with AJ. We were doing something where like I literally went to hug, and I was just gonna hug her as a fan, and then like that got a good, just me hugging her got a crazy reaction at Full Sail. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to run you to the corner. So I ran her to the corner. So like it came off like an offensive move, and they went freaking crazy. And then she told me like, do it again. So then I grabbed her and ran her to the corner. She's like, one more time. And I did it. And they were like getting louder and louder each time. And then I think the next match was like, they just started chanting like, Bayley's gonna hug you. And like, that was never my thought of being like, oh, I'm going to be a hugger, and it never like merch ideas, nothing. But it was from that match and her just saying like, do it again. All right, one more time. Like just her hearing that reaction.
It'd be hilarious if you hated hugging people and like, you were forced to do it because of your gimmick.
Which happened a lot of meet and greets where I was just like, oh God, I have to hug how many people?
Every single person in that line right there.
And it still happens like to this day too. It's just like, I'm a hugger too. I'm like, cool. Like some days I'm sweaty and I'm stinky, it's not you guys, it's me.
That's very kind of you. Mm-hmm. Very kind. And then the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men became part of the entrance.
Yeah,
that's the Family Guy reference there.
Yeah.
Al Harrington's wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
That's how they said it on commentary too. I think that was supposed to be Adam Rose's. Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened, or why it didn't work for him, or why maybe he didn't want it, or
it worked
something.
For you.
Oh yeah, but I literally showed up at TV that day, and they're like, "Hey, we want to go through your entrance real quick." I was like, "Okay." They never do that, like at that point, I was like, "They never do that to me. I'm just a freaking loser,"
I walk out.
Yeah, I just walk out and I wave to people, Like I already had the character, but I think that I was maybe a month into the character, maybe. And then they surprised me with it, came out and they popped up. This is awesome, and like everybody watching, like, everyone at Talent and stuff were like, dude, that looks so cool. And it became a thing. I think it was supposed to be for Adam Rose though, because he had a whole crazy character stuff. But I was so happy that even having that, like I remember sometimes at entrances for big matches, whenever they would pop up, like it would get like a second pop, like I would get a good reaction, but then the two men got like a big pop, It was like, oh shit, they're here.
Are they ever coming back?
I cut them up, dude. And then they sold them.
They sold the cut up ones?
They sold the cut ones. Yeah. They sliced them into pieces and then they sold them. And I think it's like a picture of me slicing them or something like that. I don't know.
Topps is turning everything into a trading card now.
That's true.
You could bring them back. I don't know. That could be a nice nostalgic entrance one day.
Maybe, I only got a year and a half left.
That's not true. You're not even wearing a watch.
I could tell time.
On my wrist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
If wrestling's been so much a part of your life, like since you were a kid, you wanted to do this. Now it's been so much a part of your career. did you feel like it wasn't going to come back after your injury? Like, was there a moment when you questioned where does this go?
Maybe. So like I had and this will be a story for another day because I'm not ready to share it yet, but my injury ended up being more than like what what everybody knows, you know. It was a bigger injury than anybody knows. There's a few people that are aware of it, and obviously the office and stuff. But that's the reason, like, wasn't just an ACL thing. It was a bigger injury, and that's the reason why it kept me out longer. And the reason that's really, like, it still bugs me to this day, you know, like I can't do certain things, or it's hard for me to run. It's hard for me to do leg curls. Like, there's a lot of things that I can't do because of that injury. And so there was a time, maybe in PT, like doing stuff where I was like, man, I can't even like walk. I can't jump. How am I supposed to wrestle in like 3 months or something, you know? So there was that little doubt, which I'm sure everybody goes through with injuries. But I always knew that I was going to come back because, I mean, it wasn't that crazy of an injury. It was just like a where am I going to fit in kind of thing. And like my whole idea behind Damage Control was like, all right, I've won my championships. I've had my Mania moments. And now as a character and as a bad guy, I could be like, I don't even want anything for myself. I want it for them. Like they're going to reap all the benefits of my experience, and they're going to get all the championships, and they're going to get everything. And then when the time is right, I'm going to steal it I'm going to take the spotlight right back, you know, like when I'm ready. But while I'm still recovering and finding my ways, they're going to do all the work for me. And that was like my idea behind it. And like, I had a whole, you know, there's 5 of us, like my pitch for Damage Control. I also had Raquel in it. I also had Alba Fire in it. And I had so many other girls in mind too. I had Toni Storm. I wanted Toni Storm in it. But like when I actually sat at the PC and shot stuff, it was with Raquel and Alba. And like all 5 of us, I had reasons why I wanted them. I had a reason, like Raquel was obviously she was our muscle, you know, but she was teaming with Dakota at the time, I believe. So they worked out perfectly. Alba and Io, I think, were teaming a little bit there. So they worked out perfectly. But like in my mind, it was there's 2 tag teams, and then Io was my champion. You know, like she was going to be the champion. So I didn't really like. I just want to do everything in wrestling. That's how I always thought. Like I want to be a bad guy. I want to be a good guy. I want to be in a faction. I want to be in a tag team. I want to be a singles wrestler. I want to be in a romantic love angle someday. You know, like I want to be able to do everything because there's so many different things that we can do in this crazy world, you know, to not like try different avenues and work with as many people as possible. Like I just want to do it all.
You've done pretty much everything. Is there really anything you haven't done?
You haven't won the IC title. I haven't won the U.S. Women's Championship.
Well, there's only been one person that's won each of those.
Yeah, and I need to be one of them too.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, then we have to change how we define a Grand Slam champion.
Exactly, I know,
right?
that sucks.
Ooh, are you still a Grand Slam champion?
No, because there's new titles. It's so annoying.
Good.
I know.
So what are you? I mean, what are you?
I'm a loser now.
I am nothing.
I have nothing.
You've only won 2 of the titles.
I know. Damn it.
Man.
Well, I am really proud of the tag titles, although we can be better at displaying the division. And like some weeks it's really good, some weeks it's not. And like even just this going into Mania, I feel like Liv and Raquel have worked so hard to like, you know, they've been on everything and killing it. And even before they were tag champions, you know, Liv she's the it girl right now, you know? And then for them to not just have like a super highlighted story and yeah, I just wish it was a little bit better, but I am still grateful for the opportunities that it gives women because if people are always like, you know, oh man, the tag division is nothing right now, or you guys aren't doing enough with the tag division. But it's like, but if the tag division didn't exist, then it would be even less. You know, like we just had a gauntlet match last Friday or whatever, and like a bunch of those girls wouldn't be on TV if we didn't have the tag division, although it was a short 3 minutes or it was a short 2 minutes. But like, it would be nothing if we didn't have the tag division, you know? So there are, you know, positives to it. But yeah, we always want more.
Do you have so much more fun when you're a heel?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to still having a hard time finding myself as a babyface right now, you know?
In this iteration of you?
Yeah. I feel like I'm just so much of me as a person, like me, Pam, right? And it doesn't translate well in wrestling. So I'm trying to find how that works. Like in my mind, when I was like, okay, I'm going to, you know, me and Damage CTRL are breaking up, win the title. I thought it was like, oh, I'm going to have the most fun. Like now I have the experience of a good guy and a bad guy. I'm going to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin and I'm going to have the most fun ever. And it just wasn't that, you know, and it just wasn't fun. Like it was just kind of like, like I wasn't having fun and I felt like the reign wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So that obviously translated, you know, in the ring and it just, nothing was there. So I feel like I'm still trying to find where that is. But like as a heel, it's so fun to like, I can just turn up my annoying shit easily, you know, like how I am with my friends or how I am with my family or my mom. Like I'm so annoying to my mom. I can just like turn all that up and people can relate to that, I think, because they all know somebody like that. That's just like too much. Like, dude, shut up. You're too much. And that's really fun. I feel like Liv is in that spot right now where like, she's the sweetest ever, but she also has this like side of her of she's super like talkative and social and loud. And now she can like bring all that into a character and turn it up a million and do it with like Dom, who is like, you know, everyone loves to hate right now. So I think it's more fun. And I know everybody says that, but not everybody can do it, I think.
I guess it's because you don't have to care, right? If you're a heel and people are cheering you, you're like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you are a baby face and people are booing you, you're like...
And I've been in that position, you know? I still get booed sometimes, you know? And I get it. Excuse me. I've like when I was the hugger, the moment I knew I needed to change some point soon was when I literally separated my shoulder and I was in Toronto and I was supposed to have a match at SummerSlam with Alexa. And I had to pull out of the match because I separated my shoulder. So they wanted me to go out and cut a promo and say, like, I can't do SummerSlam. And I got booed. So, like, they were like, I don't know why they were booing me because they were like, you're phony. We hate this character. Or, like, we don't care about you. Or they thought the injury wasn't legit or something. I don't know what happened. But I was getting booed so bad. And I was, like, almost in tears. And I remember, like, Mercedes came out because she was taking my spot at SummerSlam. And she just, like, we like looked at each other and she's like, man, fuck these people. And I was like, yeah. I was out because she could see that I felt so terrible about myself. I'm like, man, I'm trying to like pour my heart out and these guys do not care. So there was, you know, it's hard when you are a good guy and you're not getting that reaction. But the easy thing is like, okay, we'll just turn to a bad guy. But like sometimes you want to prove them wrong or sometimes you want to prove to yourself like, no, I can make this work.
Yeah.
Even though it's so much easier to just turn and then they end up liking you. So it's great. Wrestling's so hard and then nobody really realizes it. Like it's so hard for us too. But, if I can choose right now, I wish I could just be a good guy. I'm going to figure it out.
I mean, you're a good guy.
Yeah. I want to be a great good guy.
A great good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to start drinking beer on TV.
That's never been done before.
I'll do tequila on TV. Oh, The Rock does that. Damn it.
You have to pick another drink.
Yeah.
Cody has vodka.
Yeah.
Jeez, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Huh.
Espresso shots. Just be all super hyped up.
I mean, C4 Energy is one of the sponsors.
That's true.
There it is.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Does it work? Well, find out for yourself. They're making it so easy. Your first month is free when you use the code CVV at BlueChew.com. Just sign up there at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part is this is all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. They say there's nothing sexier than confidence. Well, Blue Chew gives you the confidence where it really counts. Make life easier by getting harder. And discover your options at BlueChew.com. Like I said, they've got a special deal going on right now for anybody watching this. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free with the code CVV. You just have to pay $5 for shipping. That's code CVV. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and all of the important safety information. And a big thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the show.
Was turning heel why you changed your finisher?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone hates my finish, huh? Sorry, guys. It was a finish that I did on the indies.
Why do they hate it?
I don't know. The setup is really hard. It is like, sometimes I'm like trying to figure out where to put it or like how to get into it. I'm like, man, this is annoying. This move sucks, you know? But I think it's just like, it's hard to get into sometimes. But when I get smooth ways to do it, it comes out really good. But yeah, that is why I changed it. And because I thought the belly to belly was a very gimmicky. You know?
Sure, you're a hugger, belly to belly.
Yeah.
I get it. How do you not let that get to you if you know the audience doesn't like your finish?
I think I stopped like worrying a long time ago because that will kill you. That'll like, if you start, not that we don't listen to them. Obviously, we care that they're the reason we do this, you know? But when it comes to that, it's like, it's more of a, like what I'm saying, like with a good guy, it's more of a challenge, I guess. And I'm like, I just have to think of smoother ways to get into it, or I have to make sure the impact is, you know, really forceful. But I have had, I have had like Michael Hayes, you know, be like, hey, why don't you think about using the elbow? Because like, you know, you think about using the elbow for a finish sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, I can. It just really hurts, you know? I try my hardest to not hurt the person, and it's all on my hip. Sometimes my back goes into place. Sometimes it goes out of place. You know, you never really know what you're going to get with the elbow. And with this one, it's very safe and everybody could take it and no one's really afraid of it. Yeah, I think, you kind of just have to like block it out because that's fine. As a heel, it was cool because no one, you know, I'm a bad guy. It don't matter if they hate my finish. But now I'm just like, it's not as exciting. I could see that, you know, so I have to figure out.
Are you thinking of another finish, or are you just thinking of ways to make this one look smoother?
I think I'm thinking of ways to make it smoother, and thinking of like possible submissions, things like that are, you know, with age, we want to have everything. You want to be able to do everything, and submissions are much easier to either get into. Like my knees are terrible, you know, so like even just that, landing on your knees after so long is a little bit brutal. So, I'm kind of like playing with a few different things, but I just want to get this right. Like there are times where it looks really good, you know, like, Alba, I just gave one to Alba the other day or Friday, and I thought it came off really cool, you know? And I was like, all right, or gave one to BFAB and it came off really cool. So there's times where it's like, that looks like a finish. Yeah.
Are knees the thing that hurt the most? Like when you get out of bed, what hurts?
God. Yeah.
You're like, what doesn't?
It really does. Like it fluctuates depending
on how recently you wrestled.
Yeah, like this week I've been rough because I had the match with Lyra, and then we had the gauntlet tag match, and then I wrestled Liv, and like what's today, Thursday? So Tuesday I woke up just like, holy crap, and like I hadn't wrestled for maybe like a month or something, you know, besides just training. My neck was so sore, but it's mostly like I said, my injury. I get a lot of pain in the, like my, what's called like my hamstring tendon, which is weird. I get a lot of pain there. So like, that's something that I deal with every day. And then there was a time where like I was getting super, my diet was on point. My training was like, I started training with a new trainer, Madcap Moss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So him and his brother started their own like training regimen,
Mike. And
I started training with them. Yeah. Cause Mike's like a former football player, and like the way I would always see the way he trains. And I'm like, dude, I want to be like that, like a real athlete, you know? I was like killing it with their workouts. And then I did something and pulled my back so bad. And it was like a disc issue where all the people I got, like my chiropractor, my dry needler, my PT, they were like, yeah, like I would sneeze and I would be crying in pain, legit, for like a month and a half. So that like put me back. but like it's all better now. So those things, it just comes and goes. But the leg, I would say, is always there.
I feel like you're at this point in your career where you've accomplished so much, and there's still a section of the audience that doesn't give you the respect that you deserve.
Yeah, what the heck, guys?
But seriously,
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense when you look at the resume that you've had, when you look at the people you've worked with, when you look at the moments that you've been part of. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that sucks because, like I said, like I don't let things get to me, and I stopped reading tweets or comments and all that stuff a long time ago. But I do feel that, and I see that, and I'm just like, what am I missing? And so that's the one thing that still gets to me, and maybe that's like ego or pride or whatever. But I'm just like, what do you like? What am I missing that you don't understand what I've done for this industry, or what, it's hard to explain. And especially now, because I feel like, okay, well, I've been doing this I've been wrestling for like 16 years altogether.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, obviously, like I'm going to slow down at some point. But now when I see shit like that, like, oh, she's not this or not this, like now I have to, like, yeah, now I got to prove them wrong. But there's also a part of me that feels and agrees with them. Like I was just telling Lyra this the other day. We've been doing a lot of bonding. I don't feel that I'm at a level of a Charlotte or a Becky. And but we came up together, and like I wrestled Charlotte in her first match ever. Like I was signed to WWE before Becky. So like, when I see, like, to me, they're up here and I'm just not there yet, and maybe that's kind of like where people base it off, or like where they judge it or whatever. But like I keep saying, I get my feedback and opinions from the right people to me, like someone like Tyler Breeze, who taught me so many things. I still talk to him about all my matches. Like he still gives me feedback. He still gives me ideas to this day. And if he enjoys something that I do, then I believe it and I respect it. But if he tells me like, you need to do this better, I'll do it. Someone like TJ, whatever he says, I respect it and I believe him, so like, as many people, think that I'm not at this level or whatever, part of me agrees with them because I don't think I'm there yet.
After the Rumble last year, CM Punk even said, like, put some respect on her name.
Yeah.
And he had a really good point.
Yeah.
You won the Royal Rumble and you're not even at the press conference.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of moments like that. I feel like I don't get on the press conference. I don't get on the posters. I don't, get to do the talk shows. I don't know what else to do, and it's not like there's no heat in backstage or anything like that. Hunter and I have a really good relationship. Bruce and I have a really good relationship. All the TR, like I have such a good relationship with them, and I've always been professional. Even like, when I've gone to other shows to support my friends, like we've had those conversations of like the do's and the don'ts, and that was a little too much, or, like we've had those conversations. So I think we're at a real respect level. And Hunter's has like gone on press conference being like, Bayley's this, Bayley's this, Bayley's this. She's everything that, you could possibly want out of a superstar, which I appreciate. But it's like, all right, well, like, what do I need to do to get me there?
Yeah, and how do you not take that personally? Like you're being told you're going to win the Royal Rumble, then you win the Royal Rumble, you do the point and everything, and then it's like, well, what now?
Yeah, I know. It's by the time this comes out, there's going to be even.
Wait, what does that mean?
It's hard. It's hard. It's like sometimes I think it's my that's what keeps me here, is because I don't go freaking kick the door down and be like, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? I'm fucking Bayley. Like, why would I do that? But I don't do that. I've whatever they give, and I've learned this from Cena. I've learned this from Ray. Whatever they give you is like, make it work.
Yeah.
So that's always like what I've tried to do. And I'll come up with ideas, I'll come up with pitches, and I've learned that like sometimes if you get told whatever the creative is and you're not happy with it, and then I go and I say, hey, what if we do this instead? And then they say no. I feel worse after that than I felt with the original creative. So I'm just like, okay, how bad do I want to feel today? Like, or should I just accept what they gave me and then make it as best as I can? And then they'll be like, damn, she made that work. Like, let's go this way instead. And that does happen, especially with Hunter. Hunter, like really, it happened a lot with Damage CTRL. Like if you look at like EO, how big EO got, you know, or like he was basing it off of how the crowd was reacting to us and how, you know, he would be like, this is what we're thinking, but let's just see how they react with this, you know? And then like the story would kind of change depending on, or it went on way longer than he expected it to. Like, I don't think this was supposed to go to Mania last year.
Yeah.
Last year. So yeah, and that's like a fun process, but I think I went a little off the rails. One of the main things that I have learned in a book that I read it's called the, what is it called? Laws of Agreement or something.
The 4 Agreements?
4 Agreements.
Oh, I talk about this book all the time.
Yes.
I love it.
Don't take anything personal.
Don't take anything personally.
That is like, and then there's impeccable with your word. What's the other one?
Always do your best.
Always do your best. And there's one other one, but the don't take anything personal is like literally what I live by.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah, don't make assumptions. But it's literally like, it's not personal. Because they're not putting me on the posters, they're not like, hey, take Bayley off. Like, let's just hurt her feelings a little bit. You know, like it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not. And my ego will get over it, you know, like who cares? It's not personal. They're doing it because the marketing team thinks it's best, or because the fan base, or because of your merch set, like whatever it is. I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't change. There's so much more to life that I've been learning this in the last couple of years. There's so much more to life, and life is so freaking short that I don't want to spend my time, especially my last few years here, like being upset or being like, man, I wish I was on the poster. I wish I had more TV time, or I wish I did this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to look back and be like, dude, this is the coolest freaking thing ever.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here.
Since we're trading inspirational quotes here, I heard one that was so powerful to me. It's when you trade your expectations for appreciation, it flips everything.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're expecting something to happen and it doesn't happen, well, now you're upset.
Yeah.
Instead, if you can appreciate what the opportunity you're being given or whatever's in front of you, it's like, oh, wow, like I have this thing that I can be thankful for, be grateful for.
That's so true.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because when you set up an expectation and it doesn't get met, well, now you're bummed out.
Yeah. And that's hard for like our line of work, really. I think it's just hard for, it's not our expectations of them, or like, you know, okay, I don't expect Hunter to put me in the main event, but it's our expectations of ourselves. You know, it's like, all right, what did you do wrong that you weren't good enough for that?
Well,
know,
you're all high performers, right?
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be the best.
Yeah.
There's only one champion.
Right.
Like, 'cause there's multiple, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Multiple champions, but there's only so many people that can be in that spot.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But you're over. Like the crowd loves you when you go out there.
I think we've just like built such a relationship over however many years that I've been doing this. And it's crazy because especially when we started Netflix, but there's a whole new wave of fans, you know, where they don't know my past, or they don't know what I've been through, or, you know, that all my other accolades, or, you know, when I was a tag champion or anything, like they don't know anything about me. So I'm like, if I get a reaction when I come out, I'm like, yeah, there's some people who like me just as I am now, you know? Yeah. It's so hard. And like wrestling is ever changing, you know, like there's so much wrestling nowadays, and there's like other companies and there's other talent. Like I'm such a fan of the other talent and like all these other freaking people that don't even work with us, you know? So I'm also looking at like, okay, how do I keep up with them, or how do I adapt, or how do I grow, or what do people want nowadays? Like, I don't know what wrestling fans want now. So it's like always trying to catch up, I feel like. But that's what makes wrestling fun too, is because it's not stale, never stays the same, you know?
It's great to see that your relationship with Mercedes is still like great, even though she's working somewhere else. Because I feel like there would have been a time where if you worked at WWE and they worked at WCW, you couldn't be seen at, I saw you guys at a movie premiere together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure that I can take a photo with both of you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course. We're friends.
Yeah.
That didn't exist a while ago.
Yeah. And it may not have existed even like a few years ago. But like I said, like when I've gone to watch her wrestle, it was a thing where we had to have a conversation of, you know, with me in the office was like, is this okay? You know, and like they told me, like I said, the do's and the don'ts. And like on her side and with her, everything's fine. But like, I don't ever want to disrespect WWE. I don't ever want to come off, you know, bad or like a traitor or anything like that. Like, I love wrestling. If there's one thing that the fans know or that WWE knows is like, I love this and I'm going to like support any type of wrestling or any company. But like wherever my best friend goes, you know, I want to be there for her. And she's been there for me. Like there's been shows that she's come to and nobody knows, you know, big moments for me. And I'm not going to say when they were. But she's been in the crowd.
Photos of her in the crowd with like a hoodie on and glasses. Like,
oh yeah, that's like when we went to TNA to watch Trin. You know, we've done that. But like she's come to WWE shows and like nobody knows that she was there.
Still,
she's been there. Yeah, for my big moments. So like, I feel like super appreciative that WWE has allowed me to go to those big moments for her, and like vice versa, that she still cares to come and support us. And yeah, I think it's awesome. Like as many moments as I have with Lyra and Roxanne and Cora hearing, or Indy hearing like that they started because of a lot of things that her and I did, she gets that on the other side now. You know, she wrestled a couple girls and she's like, dude, one of the Renegade twins, like she just told me this, or she just told me. So it's cool there's a whole different side of women that I've never met that were influenced by like what we were doing. And I love that we're able to, share our experience and share our journeys and our knowledge in the ring with different people, like separately, and be able to both be at a high level still.
When was the first time you heard the Hey Bayley chant?
Oh, I think it was in London, or like the tour we did. Oh man. Cause I did a tour when I was NXT champion with WWE before like our Brooklyn match. But I think it was the tour that we did with NXT before my London match with Nia. So like we did a few shows before the London match. And I think the UK crowd started it then. And I didn't really get it till like maybe the second or third show.
Were you like, what are they singing?
Yeah, because it was our first time there, you know, but they were chanting for everybody. And then when they came up with that, I was like, that's really cool. But when we did it in London, man, they were like, that was the first time I felt that the crowd really like brought me to life. Man, I wish everybody could feel that feeling. I say that all the time. But it was like, she was killing me in the match. And I was just like dead, you know, how am I going to survive kind of thing, like dead on the floor. And when they started singing, I felt like such a crazy energy. Like they were really bringing me back to life. It was so wild. And I just love that it's come this far and that they still do it. You know, I feel like that's something I always have when I go over there. And I love it. I love it.
I feel like this tattoo on your hand, if you were to do this, it's like a little like,
hey,
I've been looking at that.
Hey, Bayley. Who? Yeah, I got this in Puerto Rico.
That's badass.
Yeah, thanks.
So good to be able to catch up with you and sit down with you. It's been 6 years.
That's wild.
The last interview we did was 2019. It was you and at the time Sasha.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was like a Cricket Wireless live thing.
Yeah.
Good to be able to.
It was not a real, you know, sit down. Yeah.
We played games. We had a birthday cake for Sasha.
We did.
But I'm glad that we can sit down and have a real conversation.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully, like I was thinking before this, I'm like, because I love your interviews, you know, and I always feel like they get to a different level that you don't normally get out of wrestlers. I'm like, oh, what can I say that I haven't talked about, or things, you know, because I wanted to give you something good. So hopefully this, you know, came off well, and hopefully they enjoy it.
This was great. You don't do a lot of interviews.
I don't get asked. I don't. I'm telling you, people don't want to talk to me anymore.
That's not true. Well, I will wrap this up with the question I ask everybody at the end, because gratitude's so big for me. We actually already talked about it a little bit in this interview. I wake up every day, say out loud 3 things I'm grateful for, and we do it before we go to bed too. What are 3 things you're grateful for, Bayley?
Ooh, good question. My family, my health, and then I get to travel. I learn a lot from traveling. Just spent a couple of weeks out in Europe by myself, a little solo trip. And I learned a lot about myself. And I learned a lot about the weather. Taught me a lot in Norway. It was gloomy. This is going to go longer than you wanted this answer to be. Okay, I'm going to share this real quick thing. In Norway, so I went to Amsterdam for like 4 days. Beautiful weather, amazing place, high energy. I could live there. Then I went to Norway and it was gloomy. It was raining and I was sad. Like I felt sad because the weather made me feel like, oh man, like no one's out and it's not as fun as Amsterdam and blah, 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 blah.
So who wants to go on vacation when it's cloudy?
Right. But like that's a norm over there. So I went, the hikes I had scheduled got canceled. And so I went to the store and I said, and I was buying hiking boots and I'm like, I'm going on this hike by myself because my group canceled or the host canceled on me. And so I was like asking the guy that was selling the boots to me, I said, do you guys still hike when it's like raining and stuff? Will people still be going up? And he was like, yeah, what do you expect us to do to like not hike when it's raining? And I was like, it changed my whole, like, it just hit me differently than he even meant for it to be. I was like, that's so true. Like, just because you're having a dark day, like, what, you're not going to go on about your life? You're not going to go on with your day? Like, you're not going to, are you just going to, if you're having a bad day, you're just going to sit at home, you know? And like, that changed everything. I went on rainy hikes. I couldn't see shit when I got to the mountain, but I was so happy.
Yeah.
Like, it just changed everything for me.
That's powerful because like you're in control.
Yeah.
Like you're not being affected by the outside forces.
Yeah. And after he said that, I realized how many people were still walking around, still going to, like, everybody who's walking around, if they got their umbrellas, like, yeah, we're fine, dude. We can still go have dinner. We can still go have a drink. We can still go hike. And there was so many people hiking when I went and it was raining. It's just like, dude. So I'm grateful for my family, my health, and, you know, the fact that I get to travel for a living is life-changing.
The lessons learned while traveling.
Yeah, crazy.
Man, so good to see you.
You too, dude. Thank you so much for making the time. We tried this for so long.
No, thank you. This is the busiest week of the year for you, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you over there.